Hello everyone and welcome back to Behind Hollywood. Today's episode is actually super duper cool. I think it might have been one of my favorites yet. I sat down with this artist, her name is McKenna. She is the sweetest human being ever and she is so incredibly talented. There's a song out called Ruthless that features some incredible lyricism. So we kind of sat down and talked about her writing process and how she comes up with these incredibly powerful lyrics, and it's super duper cool and very insightful actually. So I would definitely recommend continuing watching this. Just make sure you subscribe because I have so many cool things coming super duper soon that you would not want to miss out on. And yeah. So I just have a few questions.
Okay.
Pretty much all regarding your song Ruthless, because the song, okay, I'm just gonna hype you up real quick for a moment because this song, I saw it on TikTok, um, and I was like mind blown. I'm like, this song is crazy. I don't know what it is about it. It's just such like a mesmerizing piece. And I'm
Thank
like,
you so much.
okay, go off.
Thank you. That's so nice of you.
So, what, like, could you kind of like explain just what the song's about?
Yeah, so the song is about being a hopeless romantic with a tainted view of love. So kind of like growing up, you were just surrounded by relationships and like you saw relationships that weren't really like what was depicted in like movies and books that you read growing up. Um, and but kind of just like holding on to the idea of hopeless love and like romance, even though like everything that you've seen just doesn't coincide with what you read as a kid and what you saw as a kid.
Well, I feel that so much. There's so many times where I'm like watching movies and like TV shows, and I'm like, I want
Yeah,
that, but that's not possible.
yeah, and you're like, this doesn't exist. Like, what are you talking about? Like, no.
Yeah. Do you think that like since you wrote the song that your view on that kind of changed a bit, or are you still like,
Oh, that's a good question. I think so, honestly. I've had a lot of people be like, no, like I know that like this is what you're feeling now. I feel the same way, but like you'll find it someday. And honestly, like just within the month of me writing it, like I've honestly been proven wrong by what I said, but like still in the back of my mind, I'm still like, oh, like I don't know. So
yeah? So
yeah.
the song like blew up on TikTok. I feel like it was rightfully so though. Um, so why do you think like it resonated with so many people?
I feel like it resonated with so many people on TikTok just because I feel like we are spoon fed perfect romance and love, just with the way that like social media is and media in general. Um, but I feel like um, it reached the people that still try to find love, even though they've been proven wrong time and time again, and they still want to go out and try to prove themselves wrong. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, okay, when writing like lyrics and stuff like that, um, what do you typically do? Like, do you have any like tricks or techniques that you use to make the story as authentic as possible?
Honestly, whatever I'm feeling and whatever I'm going through in that moment, I kind of just sit down on my floor and bring out my guitar and my piano and I kind of just go for it. And I found that I kind of just go into writing a song with the idea that I'm kind of writing an open letter. That's the best way I can explain it. It's just whatever I'm feeling, I just sit down and I write and I say everything I need to say and everything I'm feeling and kind of just like word vomit. And it's just like 20-minute voice memos in my phone of like me just writing a song. And then I'll kind of sit on it for a little bit and whatever, and then go back to it and rewrite a little bit more. But I think just staying true to how you feel and not trying to come up with like super intricate lyrics or like trying too hard to like write something that you think will relate to other people, that'll keep it as authentic as possible.
Because I
And just
noticed,
writing what you feel and writing what you know.
yeah, because I noticed when you were not when I was listening to the song, the lyrics are like it's kind of metaphorical but in a non-metaphorical way, if that makes sense. Like it's not like what you
Yeah,
said about how you were trying to make it relatable and stuff like that, but it's like effortlessly really relatable. um
yeah.
which is like really cool, which is why I was kind of like wondering what that whole process is kind of for you.
Yeah. No, I really just sit down and I just word vomit and I kind of just pull everything I've ever been thinking and just write.
Yep. So who are or like what kind of has been like your key inspirations?
Oh gosh. I feel Okay, so like stereotypical, but Taylor Swift is always my number one inspiration. And I've just been listening to her since I've been a kid. So she's honestly my number one. And I just love how raw and real she is. And like, she just writes so effortlessly. Like, her lyricism is, and her range is like, she's so talented and so insane and so brilliant. And so I feel like a lot of my inspiration comes from her. And then just real life things that like people don't talk about also is like what a lot of my inspiration comes from.
Yeah, it was
And I
actually
just want to
funny. It was actually funny because usually when I like interview artists and like the inspiration question comes up, I always try to guess who's people like compare like artists, right? And for you,
Mm-hmm.
when I listened to Ruthless, I was like, Taylor Swift. This girl loves Taylor Swift. I could tell. It's like a fellow
Yeah,
Swiftie can tell you that like I could point out the similarities.
yeah, it's Taylor Swift, Lennon Stella, and Gracie Abrams. Everyone can always pinpoint who I listen to the most, and I'm like, I don't know what gave it away. But
It's they all have like a very like admirable writing style.
yeah, they're all so talented. They're so brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, so I have one last question. This went by super quick. Um, so like what advice would you give to like other people who are trying to write music to kind of help with their lyricism?
I feel like I kind of already said this, but to not put so much pressure on writing the perfect song and trying to come up with intricate, crazy lyrics that you think people will relate to and just like making it more complicated than it needs to be. I think just staying authentic and kind of just writing what you feel, writing what you know, writing what you need to write for you is how you're going to stay most authentic. And I feel like, although there probably is no such thing as a perfect song, like if you want to make a good song, you just have to be authentic and tell the story. And if you're authentic, it's going to be a good song no matter what. So,
Yeah.
and also, I found with writing songs more recently is I need to like write it and then kind of sit on it and sleep on it because I'm always the type of person that's like if I write something I need it to be finished that day. Like I will sit there for hours and hours trying to write it and finish it. But I found that like sleeping on it and kind of letting it marinate, you'll figure out like what more you want to say and like go back and rewrite it. And then yeah, all the songs that I've been writing recently, like the people that I've been working with, they're like, no, like it's not going to be perfect yet. Like you need to sleep on it, you need to think about it, and then come back like a few days or a few weeks later, and then like you'll write stuff that you never thought you would write. So it's
Yeah.
helped a lot.
Because I feel like a lot of like artists are kind of on um either one extreme or the next where they're like, okay, we're gonna write a rough demo of a song and then just scrap it for like months on end and then just never pick it up again. Maybe pick it up one day, who knows? Or we're just gonna
Yeah,
power through the entire piece in a single session, start to finish, and then just like release it super fast, I guess. So it's kind of cool. Like,
yeah,
you're kind of like an in between.
yeah, definitely. Like for Ruthless, I wrote that in like 2 days, and then it was out the next month. Like that Ruthless was like really really quick. But for my other songs, like there's songs that I love that I wrote like years ago that I still like am kind of sitting on and still kind of tweaking. So I definitely am in between, but just not putting pressure on it to make it a perfect song and trying to get it out as fast as possible. Like you kind of just got to take your time and let it do what it does.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out McKenna's music on Apple Music, Spotify, all that stuff. I'll have that in the description box, along with my social media, because you want to keep updated with Behind Hollywood, right? And then also subscribe so that you never miss a new episode. And I'll see you all next time. Bye.